It's done. It's over, right? Just pack up. And it was the most awkward interview of my life, and I totally bombed it. Now you sound like an actual SDR. Now is where you show your grit, your cojones. Well, that's the most important thing. So if you got a SDR interview coming up, watch this video. I'm gonna go over 5 mistakes people usually make in their interviews. Trust me, I've made all of them. So learn from my mistakes. You don't have to lose that opportunity. Let's jump right in. I'm gonna show you exactly what not to say and exactly what you should say to get the job. So that way you'll actually sound like someone that's ready for tech sales and not just applying for the first job they saw on LinkedIn or Indeed. All right, so the first mistake I hear a lot of people make in their first SDR interviews, myself included, is guilty of this. Number one is being way too desperate, needy, thirsty. It's not cute, not attractive in the real world when you're trying to date. Just like in sales, it turns off the person on the other end, right? When you say,
"Hey, I'll take any SDR job. I just really need to break into tech sales."
I get it, I've been there in those desperate times, but you really have to, take a step back and understand what that says to the person on the other end, the recruiter. Essentially, it's showing that this individual is a person that probably does not do a lot of research prior to making a call, that probably doesn't even know what this role entails, what a grind it really is. And this is not going to be a long-term person. And a lot of people in tech sales, they want to know you're here for a career, not just a quick job. So that's it for number one, just being way too desperate. Show that, you understand the role. That's the most important thing. Show you know what this role entails. Mistake number 2 is overhyping yourself. I made this mistake so bad in my first interviews because I always came from the world of sales where confidence is everything. And don't get me wrong, it still is a huge part in this role as well. But I would say even more so to break in is to, instead of hyping that I'm confident, I'm a closer. Remember, SDR is not about closing. You don't even do that in this role. The SDR role is more about being curious and concerned genuinely in what people are saying. Just keep that in mind. I remember I had an interview that was very strange. They just kept asking me to ask them questions while they're saying a story, while they tell me a story that's super dry. And it was the most awkward interview of my life, and I totally bombed it. So curiosity over confidence, if anything. So instead, say I'm naturally curious about what makes people interested in a product. Now you sound like an actual SDR. Mistake number 3, especially with myself, is not knowing the product, right? If they ask you, so what do you know about us? And you say,
"Yeah, I looked at your website."
It's done, it's over, right? Just pack up. Instead, say, yeah, I saw your company does X and saves your customers Y, or share a customer success story, some news about the company. Did it go public? Did they just acquire some other software? Drop something that shows a level of research beyond just a quick, skim of the homepage, right? That's gonna alone put you in the top 10% of applicants that these recruiters are meeting and seeing on the day-to-day, I promise you. So the 4th mistake people make, myself again included, is talking way too much or way too long, right? If an SDR is rambling in the interview, a recruiter instantly knows they're gonna be a rambler on the calls. So keep your answers short, concise. Use the STAR method if you guys are familiar. I'll try to pop it up here. So for example of a clear, concise answer is, in my last company, I needed to boost X by doing Y. Simple, short, sweet, it gets to the point, it answers the question, no fluff, that's how you. And final mistake is not closing your interview. The number 1 mistake you can make is not try to close on your interview. You've gone through the process, you've done multiple rounds now. Now is where you show your grit, your cojones, and ask them at the end of the interview, hey, I'm really excited about this job and working here, this company. What is stopping you guys from offering an acceptance letter? So this one is so big, right? Not closing the interview is like not closing the sale. For example, when the interview's over, you want to say, so I think this conversation went great today. These interviews have been great. Based on everything we talked about today, so based on what we talked about today, do you feel like I'd be a great fit for this team? This alone shows confidence, that you understand the job and you're not going to be afraid to make those awkward or stressful asks, which will translate perfectly to the role. So if you're prepping for your next SDR interview, I hope I could help save you some pain and some time, and you can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to. Drop a comment down below, what part of the interview process is the most stressful for you guys, like first round, second round, third round. I know some have fourth, even fifth, and maybe I'll make a breakdown video on each stage of the interview process, and let me know if that would be helpful for you guys down below. And again, if this was helpful, found some value, or you just want to see other SDR life related content or topics, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. For the next one, peace.